Alright, this is Scribblenauts Unlimited after all. Let's tackle some of these puzzles and solve some problems. Hey there, ma'am. What do you need?
I need some help sweeping the floor. There's all this water.
Water. Got it.
Susie!
What? Oh, geez. You mean to tell me a janitor doesn't know how to clean up some water? Step aside. Okay, who's next?
I'm so sad. I need some money or some food or something.
Alright, Susie, it looks like we've got an ATM over here. I'm almost sure that you've got some kind of magic to...
Yeah, I got some magic for this baby.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Ooh!
Oh, okay, I got $1, but what am I supposed to buy with just $1?
What? Why, you ungrateful fast food restaurants all have a $1 menu!
Okay, Susie, I think we've helped enough.
I'll tell you when I've helped enough. Oh, Five Nights at Freddy's. Rockstar Anima nothing.
Okay, this all went dark really fast. We gotta start the episode or something. Hello again, everybody! We are creating Susie from Deltarune, and we're gonna have a few other characters like Jevil as well. And to celebrate, of course, another game completely separate. I love Pokemon, and Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu, of course, came out very, very recently. So anyway, you can notice that we actually have the head of Susie on screen right there on the right side, as well as the body now being created simultaneously on the left side. So yes, I am actually going to be commentating this in post for you guys. If you love content basically where you take characters from other universes and import them into another game, I would love if you subscribe and hit the bell for this channel, because that's what this is all about, you guys. Scribblenauts Unlimited, kind of the main series. We've done like Move or Die, Passepartout, lots of other games. But notice everything coming together basically. You know, we're going to be using a whole bunch of stamps for each one of these. That's why we need to create the head and the body separately, because of course Scribblenauts Unlimited does have a stamp limit, you know, each one of these things being a stamp. So you can see that we put like clown nose hands on there with a rock star. It was a king as the source object for the body. Of course, just a head as the source object for the head. There's a combination of some fins. So like we have a shark fin on the head for some of the hair. It's like the bottom shark fin or whatever. Tiger shark. There's also the dorsal fin of that, just for some of that purplish pink hair that covers Susie's face. I loved Susie in Deltarune, man. Susie was epic. Bigfoot for the shoes, the black part. A letter I actually painted all the way black as well to make those a little bit taller and bigger, with the letter I as the yellow part on them too. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at the properties editor. You know, you can edit health, what characters react to your object as, you know, just some sort of things often that are behind the scenes about the characters. This is where we like to read background information and fun facts about the characters that we're creating, so let's do this. Of course, being an axe wielder and having the most health, Susie generally will be the team's tank character in Deltarune, and we're just discussing for the party characters. I'm not discussing anything else. But I'd say she's a lot more than that, clearly. It's best if you've played the game or seen someone playing it, but I'll mostly be light, I would say, on anything that's too spoilery here. Susie is essentially the monster, quote-unquote, of the prophecy that speaks of the 3 heroes of light. I loved Susie, as can easily be seen in my live stream of Deltarune, currently on this channel as a video on demand. She says quiet people piss her off. She's a tall, reptilian-looking monster, and she often is seen trying to solve any problems with violence. Some of these obviously sound like some rude or all-around bad qualities, but for most who play Deltarune, I'd imagine there's just something about Susie that kind of makes you like her. Anyway, we're going to be leaving her with a script in Scribblenauts here under the behavior tab that she will use, and then when you type in axe, it comes up with many broad categories, of which I'm going to use melee weapons, or medieval would probably work just as fine. Really, a lot of those categories would, but she's also going to have a behavior that also will be to eat, and then you could just type in chalk, which will give you more just general categories, and out of those, I'll use classroom. Fun little nod to her eating the chalk. Just in case anybody's new to Scribblenauts Unlimited and how it works when you make the head and the body separately, you can see that we did put the head object of Susie into the hands of the body, into Susie's body object right here, and you saw that the head was way too low, so to fix that, you basically just turn on these green grids here. You go back into the object editor for the body body object, so that's why we just got Susie's body back here, and we moved that head grid. Again, it was way too low on her, so I actually just moved it up, and I moved it a little bit to the right. Susie almost is, well, not hunched, but kind of more forward instead of just standing straight like that. But we're gonna be moving on with a new source object for a new character right now. We're gonna go with Dancer as the source right here, and the Dancer, we do want the male Dancer source object. Sometimes, you know, it's okay to create an object that, like, you want it to be a female, but you use the male source object, or vice versa. But in this case, it is gonna be the male Dancer for what is male character. In Deltarune as well, we're gonna be going with Jevil. You guys asked for Jevil like crazy, man, so we do have the Dancer here, and thank you so much, you guys, for requesting stuff in the comments down below, because yes, that is how things are chosen each week. I need you guys to ask for stuff. You can ask from any game. It doesn't have to be more Deltarune characters, but for this week, if you want to, go for it. It's whoever you want. Most popular, most requested is what gets created. We've got a fingernail coming up right now. That'll actually be for a piece of the shoes, I guess. You know, it's like he's got these weird little shoes. To me, they almost look like aqua socks or sandals or something like that. I think it's just because, you know, we are creating something that is mostly just seen as like an overworld sprite. You know, it doesn't have a lot of the details that, say, the portraits do, you know. So, especially in Undertale, in the first game, you get to see a lot more detail of several of the characters when they'd go into that black and white battle portrait type mode, I guess, of looking at them. And the overworld sprites are generally, of course, in the lower bit quality. And so anyway, we had a snowball covering up the torso of the Dancer. Hemispheres were on the legs for like kind of puffy pants like that for the Jevil. He does look all jester-like. And we have a tutu up there on top where the neck basically is. It is still attached to the torso piece though, so you don't want to attach it to the head or anything like that. And we kept on the Dancer's original legs. One thing that I did make a mistake is you probably could have kept on the Dancer's back arm. It's not that we really need to save stamp space, but if you really are trying to add more to this character or anything like that, you could actually conserve one stamp by keeping on the Dancer's back arm there. We did want the cloak that he's wearing, you know, that cape, to be over that arm though. We're in the properties editor once more. Sometimes when we have multiple characters, we actually don't read background information about each and every one, but today we are. So let's do this. While Jevil is an NPC and secret boss in Deltarune, many of you guys asked for him to be created in large numbers. It seems sometime before Chris and Susie enter the dark world, Jevil was working as the court jester. After encountering a monumental strange someone, quote unquote, it seems Jevil shifted personalities and was saying bizarre things that didn't completely make sense, but didn't completely not make sense either. At least that's how it's described in the game. In battle, Jevil has many attacks, and they all seem to follow an actual voice line before the attack happens. When I say voice line, people who are aware will already know he actually has some voice acting spoken in the game. Obviously, Undertale and Deltarune are games that largely don't have any spoken words. Keyword there is largely, as there, of course, are just a very few, like in Jevil's case. Anyway, in Scribblenauts, for your creation, you could really use so many different things for the weapon, projectile, attack, you know, a heart, a playing card, that would be to represent, of course, like a spade or clover shape, since Scribblenauts doesn't actually let you do the actual shapes of those as they appear on cards. Or you could also use a scythe, bombs, and much more. What I'm gonna narrow it down to, just out of mostly random choices of those, are for the weapon tab, I'll do a rhombus, which it is supposed to be like the diamond shape from the playing cards. You, of course, want the rhombus shape, not instrument. Then under the scripting tool, when this character loses or gains health, he will add an adjective of brave or fearless, whichever one you want to write, then wait a set amount of time, set amount of frames, and then this object will shoot a projectile, and that will be a white scythe. I guess short white scythe, since the scythe is pretty tall in this game, kind of long and tall. But you saw, you know, we had a mitten there as the hand that's on the front arm, you know, that's closer to us, and there was a minus sign and jellyfish tentacle piece, all that stuff kind of on the midsection or belly of the character. We got a head as the source object. You do want to paint that head source completely black, just in case some of it is showing. You actually don't really, it's okay if some of it's showing, because we do want some black around that circle that makes up the main kind of shape of Jevil's head here, which is what we're now creating, obviously. And we had a tiger shark once again, but take the bottom fins, it's the one in the back, and that can be for the ears, and we're actually going to do it on both sides. Now again, because this is an overworld sprite, sometimes the colors, I think, will merge together just in the quality. It's like, for example, you know, when they had Mario like 8-bit, there were certain things that just, like, for instance, his hand might have just looked like one square. You know, it just is like a dot practically. And so to transition that into Scribblenauts Scribblenauts, sometimes, like, for instance, that's why we made the ears the two separate colors right there. We have one that's blue and one that's purple, but it's just because he does have that one, like, purple part, I guess, and we can show this on screen, if not right now, just at least at the end. I always compare, by the way, you know, I know that some of you guys don't stick around until the very, very end of the video, but that's where we actually do show off the comparison image to see how it looks in Scribblenauts and then how it looks in the actual games that these characters come from. So, of course, in this case, Deltarune. We had a mermaid sort of tail piece, not the very end, though, as part of the jester hat, as well as an animal horn. So you just type in horn. So here in the properties editor for the head objects, just a reminder, of course, on the head, you want to script it so that it can be worn on the face like glasses. You can either do that or a hat, basically, but that's how you get the head object to go, you know, when you put it into the hands of the body, that's how it goes kind of where it's supposed to go, up top, not in their actual hands. So you see that we have Susie and Jevil right here. We are going to create an epic battle, I guess, of epic proportions. That's what we should say. Let's make Jevil hostile right here and take on our Susie, who we did give an axe. Of course, Susie does have the behavior tab to use axes, as I said. And that's our Lancer creation, actually, from the last episode. One thing that I'm noticing with them fighting right now, actually, is that Susie keeps getting just, like, knocked in between the fire, basically. We don't want Lancer to be hitting our Susie right here, but Susie and Lancer, we do need to speed this up. I think it's gonna take a while to take out Jevil, man. He'll actually take a little while to take out Susie, too, it looks like, but Susie is down on that last heart. Can they actually defeat Jevil before? No, they cannot. Susie is down, and Lancer is down practically at the same time, man. Jevil is hardcore, so here, give me that axe. I'm gonna take him down, son. Chop, chop, and kablooey. I don't know what that was, but there, Kendo's victorious. All right, so we'll switch gears completely. I know that we're moving kind of quick, but we're already like, what, 10 minutes in almost to this episode? Very close to that, at least. I don't know. In editing, sometimes things slow down or speed up, just depending on what I have to cut out or keep in, so maybe that's wrong. Anyway, we are at a dog source object. We're going to be creating Eevee right now, and so Eevee definitely, the reason we're creating Eevee and not Pikachu is we have created Pikachu, but that was actually back in episode, I believe, 17. Very, very long time ago. This was that was like near the infancy of this series. Again, that's many, many years ago, but we got an alien torso piece, that body object right there. That can be for a head part of Eevee, so do attach that to where the dog's head is supposed to be, and seed is going to be for the ears, as well as the inner part of the ears. The pom-pom was like the fluff that's all around. It kind of looks like a mane. You know, Eevee has that like fox look, but Eevee does have that mane all around it. And we're going to also use the pom-pom for the tail. There's so many things you could do, I feel like, for the tail. And it just depends on how detailed you want to go, how fluffy you want to go, you know, and I thought that was a good kind of mix between detailed, but also like still Scribblenauts graphics and everything like that, and having some fluffiness to it. We did have Lion, the actually back legs of the Lion were for the front legs of Eevee, and then vice versa for the back. Now the eggs are going to start off the eye, at least the colored part. It's interesting because in Let's Go Eevee, you can see in screenshots, but even when you look at the box, like the cover art for the box that you can get the game in, Eevee is right there on the front with these like purplish eyes. You know, we've always seen Eevee, at least as long as I can remember, with brown looking eyes. And so this Eevee that becomes your partner Pokemon in Let's Go Eevee does have kind of these like purplish detailed eyes, you know, and so I did want them to have some kind of texture pattern. It's not too important which one you want to do. You just pick one that you like to give it some texture if you want to go kind of off of my design as well. Hemisphere for the mouth part and a scorpion bottom middle tail piece was for the nose, just painted all the way black. Dots were not only for the little white shimmer in the eyes, but also the pupil, and dog tail for some hair up at the top. But can you believe it, ladies and gentlemen? We are at the properties editor one last time for this episode, so let's go ahead. We all know who Eevee is, right? If you somehow don't know, real quick, a Pokemon introduced in Gen 1, best gen, normal type, cute fox, can evolve into so many different Pokemon depending on the stones used, those evolutions being deemed the Eeveelutions, and most recently, of course, Eevee is the mascot title character in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. I think most of you know there's also a Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, of course. I mean, we've already said that in this episode, obviously. Now, at the time of this recording, I did get to play Pokemon Let's Go. I had actually downloaded Let's Go Pikachu to play it early, but I had ordered a physical copy of Let's Go Eevee, so I actually have both copies and the Pokeball Plus, which is awesome. awesome. Definitely want to try that out. But I have already, of course, played the game and live streamed it on this channel. We upload this series every single Sunday for Scribblenauts. But sometimes, we do have like a live stream of something, whether it's like Bendy or Deltarune, or in this case, Pokemon Let's Go as well. So the link to that live stream, as well as the Deltarune one, we can put into the description, or basically just anything that I've discussed today of past content, we can put it down in the description again. I love Pokemon Go, by the way. I still play that game basically every day. Since you guys know that my life is insane, though, I can usually only give it about 5 or 10 minutes a day, but I do have a Twitch channel for any of you that didn't know. Completely separate content over there, but it's all focused on Pokemon, specifically Pokemon Go most of the time. So I actually was doing a lot of Pokemon Go streams on the Twitch channel every week. That's twitch.tv/DRKENDO. My Twitch content isn't always family friendly over there, so please know that fair warning before you go follow. Check this out. I mean, that is not working exactly how I wanted it to. Eevee, I set it to be worn on the head like a hat, basically. But we do have this Pokeball that I've created. It's actually a different Pokeball compared to the one in episode like 56 or whatever when I created the Pokeball. You can, of course, just fill the item, and then actually when you throw the Pokeball, look at this. We're gonna have an epic Pokemon battle. Let's do this. Let's put our Eevee to the test. So here, go! Ooh. All right, Eevee, let's take them down. We actually don't have a trainer on the other side. Okay, hold up. I'll go be the other trainer. All right, here we go. I choose Onix. Holy crap. Eevee versus Onix. Okay, Eevee, we can do this. Sort of. Let's make it hostile and then tackle attack. Oh my god. Eevee getting pummeled. There's like a sand attack. But okay, I guess we're just being rock thrown to death. I'm actually surprised Eevee's held on this long. No!
Eevee, why?
All right, something a little bit more Eevee size. Here, Goomy. All right, Eevee, we can take this down, right? And so Eevee's going to be attacking it right off the bat right there. Goomy going to be using, I guess, a bubble attack right there, I think is what I scripted my Goomy to have. Of course, this is from a past episode. Goomy also does have fire-type attacks right here. So, man, that was not good. Eevee losing as well to Goomy. All right, you know what? I want my Eevee to win, okay? So, huge, powerful, angry Eevee! Yeah, that's right, son. Who's laughing now, Goomy? Who's laughing now? I can ride my huge, powerful Eevee. No one can stop us. And then fly off into the distance. Team Kendo's blasting off again. Ladies and gentlemen, fantastic. Requests you want to see down below from video games, music, TV, memes, nerd, geek culture, any of that stuff. Please subscribe, leave a like, and I will catch you on the next vid. And thanks for viewing.
Down the road of twist.